Hello there, my friend. I want to take a few moments and talk about amateur hour. And most people don't really realize that there's an amateur hour, but it's basically the first 45 minutes to an hour or so. And essentially, it's a rough time to be trading because you're trading against some of the biggest money with the smartest and deepest wallets out there. You got to be careful. That's all I'm going to say. This is going to be talk about amateur hour. So if you sit with me for a few minutes, it's not going to be an hour. It's just going to be a few minutes. I'm going to tell you about how you keep emotions out of amateur hour when it comes to your trading. So let's go. First of all, 9:30 to 10:15 Eastern is structurally emotional. Generally, they're taking advantage of you. It's not a level playing field. What they'll do is with the big money, they'll run a stock up, and then you'll jump in right at the end, and then they'll bring it back down, and then you'll freak out, sell it at the worst time, and they take it from you. And so that's kind of the way it goes. Obviously, the opposite happens as well. It is not a level playing field. Your 100 or 1,000 or 5,000 shares isn't going to mean a hill of beans in comparison to the millions of shares that they can trade at the open. So if you look at the volume on the exchanges or on a stock, most of the volume is either early in the morning, from 9:30 on, that first hour, or in the last half hour, 45 minutes of trading. That's when most of your volume is. So they're going to be moving it all around. And when money moves around, it gets emotion. I want to try to talk to you about not being so emotional about it. All right. What happens at the open? Well, overnight orders are colliding. Wide spreads are happening. And when you get wide spreads, you get illiquidity, and that's inefficiency in your trading. That costs you money. And then you get incomplete price discovery. You don't really know right at the open what's going on with the stock. The market makers and the big money are trying to figure out their overnight orders that they got from all their clients that went home last night and are sitting there over a martini and might want to do their trades, and they enter those orders in, and the market makers have to adjust those orders so that they don't get hammered. And that how happens at the very beginning times of the market. So who's trading? Well, retail, when they trade, you and me basically, we're reactive, we're emotional. Why? Because we worked our butts off for our money. We don't want to lose it. And so when things start to go against us, we get emotional about it because money is stored energy. You worked really hard. It's now stored in money. It's now in your brokerage account, and it's going up and down, and that's going to create emotion. You've got to know that, and you've got to keep that in check. Next, institutions. They're very patient, and they're very deliberate. They know what they do. They have a plan, and they know how to get rid of you and separate you from your money. And they take the stocks and they run them up and they make money and they get their big bonuses at Christmas time, holiday time. And maybe they even know what they are doing, right? So, I know when I was doing some Wall Street stuff, a lot of these guys were buddies, right? One guy worked for, Merrill Lynch and the other guy worked for Bank of America. And they would go out and have martinis at the end of the day and talk about the stocks that they're going to be trading tomorrow. And they might even talk, a little bit closely about what they're going to do, even though they're competitors. They're both trying to get bonuses at the end of the year. So they might talk a little bit about what what they got going on. Retail mistakes that we make and Aunt Susie makes, and maybe you make, I don't know, is you chase gaps, right? The stock gaps open, right? You're like, oh man, the stock is up, $4 this morning or $40 this morning. I better get in before it runs away from me. That's an emotional chase. Or you get a false breakout. So it might break out a little bit, and then the volume will reverse and the price will reverse on you, and that's not so much fun. And then you start to overreact on early candles. And I can tell you guys, I get FOMO, you get FOMO, we all get FOMO, fear of missing out, by the way. And so you don't want to be chasing and running after these candles. Let things settle down. Don't overreact. That's just an emotional way to trade, and it's going to cost you. How does the big money operate? Well, I could tell you, they let the emotions exhaust. So if you trade options in the beginning of the day, you see a lot of volatility. Well, as the day goes by, the volatility settles down, the spreads get a little bit bigger, the volume gets a little bit smaller per hour, kind of thing. So let the emotions exhaust. That's what they do. We might as well do what they do. They're smart. They absorb liquidity. That's their job. right? But they also use it to position themselves to make money. They're not in this for free. And then what you want to do is you want to calm down and you want to enter after you see a structure that forms. That's why I believe in reading charts so much. You can get pattern recognition. You start to see structure set up so that you can get yourself the highest probabilities of making money. This is not an easy business, right? So you might as well get every edge that you can. And so you want to know what's noise versus confirmation, and you want to know what's emotion versus process. And I really believe, and if you know me or you're in any of my programs, you hear me say this all the time, have a trading plan, because they do. And if you have a trading plan, you know when you're getting in, you know when you're getting out, you know what structures and setups you're looking for, you know where the probabilities are, you know where the support and resistance are. Those things are important. Take the emotions out of the way you invest. When you're an amateur and you're in that amateur hour, you're not acting like a professional, right? So you've got to turn that into something that's a little bit more professional as you trade. There is a certain power of being in cash, a certain power of sitting there and watching and knowing that you're going to watch and knowing you're going to just sit there and go, interesting. I'm just going to let it go and I'm going to watch it and we'll see what happens. And that patience is going to improve your edge. And so I want you to be in the position where you have the highest probability to gain the highest amount of money that you possibly can when you're trading. So sometimes the best thing is to do nothing. Let all that emotion be on the screen for you, and then you come in at a proper spot that you've thought about when things are calmed down a bit. What is the impact on your income strategies? Well, I could tell you, if you can avoid those emotional rolls when you're doing covered calls and you're buying back your calls and doing it too early or too late, it doesn't help you. Just wait for that clarity. Wait for the setup. A lot of times the market, like I was trading a stock this morning, it was up about $40, right? Big stock, pays a lot of juice because I'm a cash flow machine guy. I collect income from selling covered calls. And it was up like 40 something dollars and it came back. If I had reacted, I would have left a lot of money on the table, maybe even cost myself some money. So I didn't react. I waited for that clarity and things calmed down and worked out in my favor. Luckily, they don't always do that, but I'd rather be in a position where I'm not making an emotional decision. And I got to tell you, if you can try to avoid, it's not a rule, it's a guideline. If you can try to avoid trading during that amateur hour, you're probably going to be a lot better off. So I hope that shines a light on maybe what you've been doing, or maybe you've seen other people doing it. But I want you to be very careful during amateur hour because emotions are going up. And when emotions go up, intelligence goes down and vice versa. I want you to be an intelligent, not an emotional trader. I'll see you on the next video. Bye. Hey everybody, just a quick thing to tell you about our Wealth Accelerator Live event in Arizona, just outside of the Phoenix area. April 17th through the 19th. It's called the Wealth Accelerator Live Strategy Room. And this is where we're going to have kind of an intimate event, not one of my bigger events. It's a small event where we're going to have high value conversations with like-minded people. You're going to be networking there, going really deep on strategies about income. And we're going to be really delving into stocks, reading charts, and I'll give you a breakdown of the stocks that I think are going to do well in the last half of 2026. So you don't want to miss it. Hotel rooms are already going pretty quick. There's a link at the bottom here. Again, it's called the Wealth Accelerator Live Strategy Room. Love to have you there. It looks like a pretty cool venue. If you could take a look at that, it's got a big old pool and an 18-hole championship golf course. So if you want to come early, stay late, I'm going to do that. So it'd be great to see you there, meet you face to face. Check on the link below, and then you'll have to call the hotel and get your hotel rooms because they're going fast. Anyway, just wanted to bring that up. Love to see you there, but get your tickets now because it's going to sell out. It's not many seats. Take care. Bye. The information you just heard is for education and information. This is not financial advice.